Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, one man is facing a murder charge after a woman is found dead in an eastern Kentucky home. And lawmakers are once again working on a bill to protect kids online, but just how far will those proposed regulations go?
And in the world of weather, it is quiet right now, but shower chances will start to pick up. Details coming up.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Many people will be hitting the roads this week for Christmas, and you will not have to worry about any snow. In fact, it's going to be downright warm later this week. Meteorologist Eric Dean has our first look at the holiday forecast. Eric?
That's right, Steve. If you're traveling and it takes you across the central and eastern portion of the Commonwealth on Christmas, we will see temperatures in the 60s, keeping a shower chance in the forecast. 70s, though, will be the rule across the western part of the Commonwealth. Here's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar right now. You can see all is quiet now throughout eastern Kentucky, but we'll go ahead and move the map over a little bit over towards central Kentucky. You can see Lexington, Danville, Columbia area to the north and west of Louisville getting in on some shower activity at this hour. Right now, temperatures are in the 40s, 50s, upper 50s, very close to 60 over towards Monticello, 55 in London, 54 in Hazard, 40s from Moorhead to Prestonsburg to Grundy over towards Logan. If you have plans over the next several hours, make sure you have that First Alert weather app where we stay mainly cloudy as we go throughout the next few hours. Shower chances will pick up overnight. We'll see temperatures in the low 50s. Now, Christmas is just around the corner, and I'll tell you what you can expect for Christmas Day coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
All right, Eric, thank you. One man is facing a murder charge after a woman was found dead in an Owsley County home. Kentucky State Police, along with the coroner, was called to Left Fork Holly Road last Saturday. When troopers got there, they say Crystal Sexton was found dead in the home. Troopers say Cloyd Burkhart was arrested for shooting and killing Sexton. Burkhart was also charged with evidence tampering and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. First responders in Knox County were called to a crash this morning. Deputies with the sheriff's office responded to the two-vehicle crash just before 10 a.m. at the junction of Kentucky 11 and Copper Ridge Drive. Deputies say one person was flown to UK Hospital after they were trapped in the vehicle, and no one was killed in the crash. Now, coming up at 6, our Phil Pendleton will have more about another Knox County crash that did result in the death of a 93-year-old man. In Franklin County, a Clark County man crashed into a Frankfort police officer's cruiser after driving in the wrong lane on Saturday. Police were dispatched after a call about a reckless driver. 7 different charges were filed against Brandon Bailey of Winchester, including wanton endangerment of a police officer and operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. A Louisville business owner is venting his frustration over the city's access to properties impacted by the UPS plane crash. Metro leaders say that businesses in the half-mile crash radius near Grade Lane can now access their properties from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Emergency leaders have limited access to the area as crews still work to clean up the wreckage of the crash. The CEO of Quantum Inc. Company welcomed some of its workers back on their property this morning, but he says the wait and restrictions have put a strain on families during the holidays.
It's put us in a scenario where we got to work around the clock. We got to work weird hours. We got to sacrifice time with families, and we got to sacrifice enjoying the holidays.
Our sister station in Louisville reached out to the mayor's office to learn more about the site cleanup and the restrictions. To Washington now, where lawmakers are trying to regulate big tech with a renewed focus on younger users. Senators are reintroducing the Kids Online Safety Act after it failed to pass both chambers last year. WYMT Washington correspondent Stephen Gowen has the details.
We know that kids are facing more and more dangers online, from bullying to sextortion. Lawmakers are now negotiating the details of a bill aimed at reducing those risks. In the infinite world of social media, these days, that endless stream of content reaching younger and younger users. But parents say what happens online is causing real-world harm. For years, families protesting and pushing Congress to step in.
These kids are being exposed to things that their naive young minds probably should not ever be exposed to.
Just weeks ago, this Ohio mom testifying about her son who took his own life.
James was the victim of financial sextortion, and though he died by suicide, let me be clear, he was murdered.
Now there's renewed momentum for change, with Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn reintroducing the Kids Online Safety Act. The bill passed overwhelmingly in the Senate last year, but stalled in the House. Blackburn says this time could be different.
We feel good about getting this across the finish line, and there's also more attention being paid to it because of AI.
The bill requires social media platforms to exercise, quote, reasonable care to prevent harm to minors. However, a House GOP version of the bill narrows what kind of harm companies are legally responsible for. Some lawmakers have also argued the legislation could lead to censorship.
100% of us support the principle behind it, but you got to get this one right.
I think the argument that tech has made that it infringes on their free speech is beginning to fall on deaf ears. These tech companies know that they are harming children.
The bill's supporters say without stronger oversight, kids remain vulnerable online. Blackburn with this message for parents.
I think it's important for parents to be talking to other parents and people that are working with young people and to educate themselves.
In Washington, I'm Stephen Gowen.
The Trump administration is suspending federal leases for all large offshore wind projects under construction. The administration cited unspecified national security risks. The move threatens thousands of jobs and cheaper energy and marks a major escalation in President Trump's attacks against offshore wind. The Interior Department did not specify the national security risks, but did note the potential for wind turbine movement and light reflectivity to interfere with radar. Russian and Ukrainian representatives met with U.S. officials in Florida this weekend as a peace deal remains elusive. White House Special Envoy Steve Witkoff released two statements, one saying meetings with Russia were constructive and the Russians are fully committed to achieving peace in Ukraine. Another, lengthier statement said meetings with Ukraine included discussions of key documents, including a 20-point peace plan and security guarantees for Ukraine, land concessions and security guarantees for Ukraine remain the most difficult hurdles. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, beef prices are going up, and it may stay that way for a while.
And beef prices aren't the only thing going up. Those temperatures are going up. We'll see highs in the 60s this week. Details coming up.